New Inquiry of Ministry records show us that the Liberals did absolutely no economic analysis on the impact of their vaccination spy app, ArriveCan. They couldn't even pretend to care about border communities or small businesses that do cross-border commerce. The Liberals just had to get that vaccine data and compliance out of you at all costs, including, I guess, the economy. The Liberals didn't care if the imposition of the vaccination spy app ArriveCan leveled the economy. For them, the cost was worth it to bring you under the thumb of the state and for them to gather data on your vaccination as you return to Canada. I can tell you this with utmost certainty. It's not speculation after my many years of Liberal watching. Today, I have the hard documents. I have them through an order paper response by multiple government agencies to a question posed by Conservative MP for Peterborough Kawartha, Michelle Ferrari. Ferrari asked the Public Health Agency of Canada, Canada's Border Services Agency, and Tourism Canada if any of them had stopped to consider the economic impact on Canada's tourism sector of the government's decision to continue to require tourists to submit their personal information through the ArriveCan app, and if so, what was that analysis? Now, here's what I can show you. The Public Health Agency and CBSA, they did nothing. And Destination Canada, the Tourism and Canada Promotion Agency, they didn't even stop to think about how this useless public health measure would level places like Niagara Falls. Here it is. Destination Canada does not typically measure the impacts of a specific public health measure. So Destination Canada didn't raise a single objection to a health measure that specifically deterred people from traveling to this country. Why do we have that agency at all? I'm not sure exactly what they do, but this is simply more of the government not requiring proof before they do things to you under the guise of the pandemic. Two separate order paper responses, separated by 2 years, indicate that the government has been unable to identify a single transmission of the coronavirus that took place on an airplane. And yet, you still have to wear a mask on an airplane. They were still banning the unvaccinated from airplanes. Until earlier in this summer, the Liberals had no clue whether their restrictions were working or not. And frankly, they really didn't care, because from the very beginning, this has been about punishing the non-compliant, punishing the free thinkers, punishing the people who would not submit. It's never been about public health, because if it were, they would be measuring for outcomes, but they're not. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Our charity partners at the Democracy Fund are still challenging the ArriveCan app in court, even though it is no longer mandatory. The point is, the ArriveCan app still exists, and people's data still exists inside of it. It should be purged, it should be ended, and the threat of that thing ever coming back should end. If you'd like to support their legal challenge, please consider making a tax-deductible donation at noarrivecan.com.